What's going on, everyone? Chris Mack coming at you today with the Playmates Gen′'s WildC.A.T.s Warblade and Maul action figures. If you guys want to get these figures, sadly they're not in circulation anymore, unfortunately. But as I always say, first and foremost, support your local comic shop and see if they have these in stock. If not, you're going to have to go to the secondary market. At the time of this recording, I currently see that the whole team is on eBay. Now, they look absolutely gorgeous. I don't know, just this old nostalgia packaging just always gives me that warm feeling in my heart. We can see we have all the cool stuff here, Maul, Warblade, and all the cool accessories they come with. Of course, it's a blister pack. There's nothing on the sides or really the bottoms. Love the cards, though, with Gen′’s artwork as the way the cats are supposed to look. Come around to the back of Maul. There's a read-up. I'll get a close-up. You can check out at your convenience, as well as the figures from the wave and the cool accessories. Come back around. Nothing else for Maul. Same thing with Warblade. Come around. The read-up. Get a close-up. Figures, accessories, all the awesomeness that is with these action figures. So with all that gushing, are these old-school Playmate figures worth a flip or not? Let's bust out these heroes and get a closer look at them. Backstory on both these characters. Reno Bryce, Warblade, as well as Jeffrey Stone Maul were created by Gen′’ and Brendan Choi, first appearing in WildC.A.T.s issue 1 from August of 1992. Reno Bryce was a freelance artist whose parents were killed by Daemonites. Reno survived and swore vengeance against them, dedicating his life to martial arts to avenge them. He was kidnapped by the organization known as Cyberdata, brainwashed and transformed into a member of their strike team, the Shocks. His teammate Misery used her powers to make him think that he was in love with her, but then quickly turned her attention to manipulating his teammate Ripclaw. She was revealed to be a traitor, and Warblade killed her. Ripclaw almost killed Reno, thinking that he was a traitor, and to avenge Misery. Jacob Marlowe found Reno bleeding to death and saved him, and then recruited him into the WildC.A.T.s. It's revealed that Warblade is half human and half Kherubim, also known as a gifted one for his human Kherubim genetics. Maul is a half human, half Titanthrope, which is a subspecies of the Kherubim. He's a Nobel Prize biochemist named Dr. Jeffrey Stone. Maul has the ability to go to great size, but at the cost of intelligence, or grow smaller to get even smarter. When the WildC.A.T.s traveled to Kree, which is the Kherubim native homeworld, he discovered his ancestors made up a part of the artisans who were originally Karen natives, now called, as I just said, Titanthropes, but were cast into the subterranes by another alien race. So that's the backstory on both these characters. Now, for the accessories, they both come in every single character that we've gone over thus far. Comes with these really kick-ass WildC.A.T.s bases that you can pose them on, which is really neat. And I don't know, they're fancy. They fit on relatively well. When we went over Void, I liked hers because it was purple and that she could actually use it as a kind of a flotation device. Yes, a flotation device. There's a stand and it's different because it's purple, so I thought that was kind of neat. But everybody else's is just kind of standard, and that's okay. Now for Warblade, I like that his hands are interchangeable. So let me get a better focus. You just pop out the tube. And this is really innovative for this time. So you can do that, and you take this blade, because essentially his powers is he could shapeshift different blades from his hands. So you just pop that in there. Then it all has tubes, so you can just slap them in like so. I apologize for the blood. I was using a razor blade to cut something, and well, now I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. But there you go. Very cool design. So he comes with both of his claw hands, which that metal sheen on all these just looks so awesome. Comes with a regular human hand, which I wish they would have given him two, but it is what it is. Has a hole for that mechanical plug. The other things that Warblade does come with, and each WildC.A.T. thus far has come with, are these cool little communicators. I wish, though, even though we get all these really cool accessories, I wish there was a place that you could put them, but sadly there's no weapon storage, so it's kind of frustrating. And that's everything Warblade comes with. Maul, his communicator is black, And I just love the chunkiness of it. It looks like a 1990s cell phone. If you guys have never used one of those, oh, yeah, those things would eat you alive financially, and they were just a brick to carry. He also comes with this really cool crowbar. And I just love that gunmetal gray, and it sheens in the light like that. Beautiful work. And it fits relatively in his hand. So, Maul, I'm large and in charge. He also comes with these bracers. I don't remember him using them in the comics. If you guys can reference it for me, let me know, because I'm drawing a blank. I don't even remember seeing them in the cartoon. So, in theory, I haven't really messed with the bracers much. Should just be able to, yeah. Kapow! And it looks almost like an infinity gun, like something that Thanos would use. So really cool stuff for the accessories. And they just look great when you get them all set up like so. Now for the paint apps, Maul, I like how everything, even though the gold, but the purples, well, I guess the gold is shoulders. The horns that grow out of his back, all the musculature, I knew I was going to use that word, it just looks absolutely amazing. That facial expression, just that roar. And that was one thing about the cartoon that they never really pointed out, as the larger he grew, he didn't lose his intelligence. So I think for the sake of kids at that time, they didn't express that, but it's a neat concept, you know, kind of based off of Hulk and whatnot. All the muscles and the veins just roar. Maul's always been one of my favorite characters because he's just one of those gentle giants where he's like the heart of the team, but when it's time to get in the mix, Maul's gonna get in the mix. And it's just great stuff all around. I mean, look at the way they made sure all those muscles look great. It just shouts Gen.3's Wildcats. I almost forgot, the last thing that both these characters do come with are trading cards. So I'll make sure to throw these up, and I love that every character has come with one. I don't know, it's just something about having action figure trading cards. It just gets you super excited. So I'll make sure to throw up Maul's, the front and the back. Same with Warblade, so you guys can check them out at your convenience. Now, speaking of Warblade, I love how even all his accessories have that metal sheen. He has the same. And then he just has that awesome, very neon 90s green hair, the blues, and there's that little red dot right there in the middle. Just a great look all around with the same musculature and all the, what do you call it, the cybernetics that were part of him that just made him such an interesting character. Now, as for the articulation, the one thing that chaps my hide is the fact that Maul, let's start with Maul, and I'll show you why, and we'll go back to Warblade in a second. I think he was a later release, but you can twist his head side to side. Arms can do 360. I wish that we would have had a joint here, but, or, you know, for wrists, but sadly, you know, older stuff, same. There's no chest pivot, but you can at least twist him side to side, so that's cool. And then his legs can go up and back. And oddly enough, for a 90s action figure, he does have a thigh swivel, which is awesome. His knees can bend 90 degrees. Sadly, no articulation in the feet. So for an early figure to have that type of articulation is pretty freaking impressive. And I say that for him because we go over here to Reno Bryce now. And yeah, his head twists like Maul's. His arm does the 360. Thankfully, the cable's not too much of a problem. You just have to kind of make sure to move his legs and traverse all the cabling, which is a thing. Get back in there. But one thing that I hate is how Maul is more standing straight up. They decided to mold, what do you call it, Warblade into this hunched over position, which I'm wondering if they took the mold from Shredder from the Ninja Turtles. Because that's the same things they kind of gave Shredder, that hunched over look, which just puts him in that permanent look, which is really frustrating. And what is more aggravating is, okay, first, he does have the wrist swivel, the waist swivel, but his legs are permanently bent. There's no movement on the legs whatsoever. So it's like, oh, come on, man. So I'm thinking maybe Maul was a later release that they were like, hey, we should, you know, give it, because the first wave was like Spartan, Grifter. They all do not have that leg pivot. But nonetheless, I'm glad that they have it on Maul. I just kind of hate that Warblade is just stuck in this permanent, like he's trying to take a poop type thing, just, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But it's cool that his ponytail can move, so I guess points there. But nonetheless, even though he's in this crouch position, you can still get some really cool kind of Wolverine poses going on, so I can't damn it too much. I just wish that all of them would have had this. That would have really, really sent these characters over the top. But nonetheless, having those badass red eyes and there's that grimace on the face, and the same thing here, beautiful figures nonetheless, and I seriously treasure these early Playmate action figures. Now here's Warblade and Maul. Next to the Playmates Wildcat figures that we've gone over, Spartan, Grifter, Void, there in the back, Voodoo, and Zealot. Additionally, we have also gone over the McFarlane's DC Multiverse Grifter, which I absolutely love that figure. And that's what I'm saying is, these old school Playmate ones just hit that nostalgia factor just right. It's like, chef's kiss. But since Todd has gone far enough to release Grifter, why can't we get like a box set or just a release of the original team? Not anything that DC did once Wildstorm was taken over, but I mean the old school Image Comics Wildcats. They would just be absolutely amazing with the re-release of Grifter's Bullet Bike, of course. But still, we're 2025. These figures, yes, the articulation is limited, but they still hold up and they look beautiful. And when you touch them, it just brings you back to that time when you first were introduced to Wildcats and how awesome they were. Do you guys enjoy the cats? Did you ever watch the cartoon? If you haven't, last I checked, I was checking out Tubi. It is free to watch on there, so make sure to go check that out as well. What are you guys going to do with your Wildcat figures? Posing them on a shelf? Action figure photography? Let us know. Share some photos. We'd love to talk with you guys over on the socials. I absolutely love these figures, nostalgic-wise, and just a part of the comic mythos history that this is what came out when the Image boom was happening, trying to go against Ninja Turtles, X-Men, and I really do feel like the Wildcat figures were definitely slept on. They're beautifully crafted, as we can see. Yes, it irks my Gurk that early on, Maul gets the articulated leg and the thigh cut, while Warblade doesn't get any of that. Because if you could have at least moved him around instead of having that permanent sculpt of that leg, you could get some really cool dynamic posing, but people weren't thinking in those realms back in the day. So to have these and to see how far we've come and to just still appreciate and celebrate them, I wish McFarlane would get off his duff and work with Jim Lee and release some new Wildcats team. Yes, we got an upgraded Grifter, but I would love to see a release like a box set of the original team. That would just be phenomenal, and so many fans would rejoice. But at least in the meantime, we have all these older figures to display on our shelves and to just be thankful for what we had growing up. What do you guys think of these figures? If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever there's going to get you action figures and comics, and see if you can grab these. If not, check out the secondary marketplaces we talked about at the beginning of the review. Speaking of, if you did enjoy this review, I really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you won't mind hitting that fancy little cat's bell next, subscribe. That way, as I continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and I love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments or the socials, which I'll make sure the links down in the description. So with all that said, photo slideshow coming up next. Hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.